Onward we go. Why do some people believe that dogs cannot be psychotic? The answer to that is that it's very hard to prove psychosis. In humans, there's so many cases of it with so much research and so much repetition and brain scanning and, you know, many doctors, therapists, etc., working with people who are able to, in conglomeration, make a diagnosis of psychosis. And there are very specific symptoms that go with it. It's far less evident to an untrained eye that those behaviors you're seeing are psychotic behaviors. Also, you diagnose psychosis over time. We'll get into that again, I'm sorry, in treatment and management. Well, actually, no, I think I'm going to talk about this in the document. So, psychosis is kind of like, I said, like a sinking boat. Another way I used to describe it is like if you had a big blob and the blob burst open and you moved the putty over and you covered up that hole. And then suddenly, as soon as you do that, you've got the blob bursting out in another spot. Again, just like the example I wrote about the sinking boat. And this happens over time. And the other component with psychosis is that when you try and treat and manage a behavior problem, you're not going to see the same success as you would that had that singular problem behavior. So if a psychotic dog has one specific OCD behavior, you are likely not to see much improvement when you work on treating it as you would in a dog that simply had one OCD behavior. So it's a variety of things. Like I said, there's just not enough research on it, and because of that, and because of there not being like a veterinary diagnosis, or it not being diagnosed as, you know, easily as a kidney disorder, or clearly the dog's shadow chasing, so it's an OCD behavior. Psychosis is far more complicated and is observed and realized by the repetitiveness of new problems appearing and not being able to fix them. And they add up, and the behaviors become very severe. They also become bizarre. So for example, the video of Taya sleeping/hallucinating was she hallucinating? I don't know. So again, that's a guess, but it's also a behavior that I have never seen in another dog. And therefore, that combined with numerous other behaviors and the inability to fix them became the reason that I could diagnose her as psychotic.